Yes, we are back again with another episode of the Feuding Bros, the show where we talk about everything football. People, football is back, man. Hey,
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
complain.
yeah. I mean,
How you guys
like you
doing? How
said
you
the
guys
other
doing?
day, has he ever left really?
That's the
that's
question.
the question, I guess. But it's back. It's back. The Prem is back. Who else was back? La Liga so was back.
La Liga
French
is
league was
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. But yeah, I guess that's why they get paid the big bucks. So they're gonna be here playing again. And but it's nice. It's nice to still have it start again, to start a new season, an exciting season. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with this
Yeah.
season, which is good.
Yeah.
I think it adds to the spectacle instead of knowing City is just gonna win again, and you pretty much know that the top three, top four. I think today this season is a little bit more up in the air, so I like the uncertainty of that. So yeah, looking forward to that. What do you guys think?
Man, it's we're back like we never left. That's that's the feeling that I have right now. It's like, oh yeah, let's let's just get into the routine again. Especially with the few games we're gonna be talking about today. Like it feels like not much has changed for most teams. There wasn't anything spectacularly different from what last season showed, right? It's like teams picked up where they left off, pretty much. So yeah, super excited. Man, so much to talk about. Yeah, and what you gotta say?
Yeah, I mean, before we start, don't forget, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also join our FPL mini league. Link in the description. Yeah, but again, just like I said last time, yeah, football it doesn't feel like it's ever left. But I mean, whenever your team is playing, that's when you're most invested. So I
Yeah.
guess without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. And the first game of the new season had Manchester United against Fulham.
Yes, sir.
I see you guys scraped the victory over there, man. Just kind of like
Brave is a big word.
until the dying embers of the game. But I mean, a win is a win. I guess you're gonna tell me. So 1-0 to the United. How you guys felt the game, man?
Yeah,
Go,
I mean,
Fred, you start.
yeah. Scrape is a big word. I mean, we had 15 shots, so many on targets. We dominated most of that game. So the goal was just something building up, The worry was that we were like, okay, where is the goal going to come from? We had Bruno miss a few chances. Yeah, just chances missed, pretty much. We went clinical, and that created a little bit of scare. But overall, great performance, I will say. Among most of the teams, I think Manu is the one showing a little bit more difference. And believe me, from where we're coming from, it's a lot because, yeah, last season wasn't great. We talked about it on the channel.
I'm sorry, you said Manu is the only one showing what?
I saw out of all the teams, that's what I say, out of all the teams, Manu showing the most improvement because, obviously, from where they were from last season. So just in terms of play, in terms of build-up, in terms of team chemistry, we saw a little bit better stuff than what was before. So, yeah, happy to get the win. It was all about the 3 points. We got that in the bag. Top of the league, kind of, for like 3 seconds.
For a little bit.
We'll take it, man. We'll take it. We got to have those weekly wins all the way to the end of the season. Otherwise, in this league, when you start slipping up, there's pretty much no way back. So, yeah, I mean, happy with Man United. Fulham, we talked about them as well in the preseason review as a team to kind of, just look out for. And they stayed in the game. They gave us some worries here and there. Their team looks interesting, Was hoping to see more from Smith Rowe, but, obviously as a Man U fan, not too much. And what we saw was just enough to see that it's going to be decent. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I feel like we played really well for like 60. I want to say 60 minutes, and then he just went. I don't know why. We just reverted back to the old just midfield is so open and people just randomly running forward and there's no cover. It just kind of reverted back to that.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think that was also a little bit due to all the changes he made at once because he made 4 or 5 changes at once.
No, that was after that. Even
I think the changes actually helped you out. The changes actually helped you out in the game.
Yeah,
get the goal.
Early in the second half, you guys were lost. I think Fulham just started playing, and they were on top for a bit. And there's one thing. I mean, I know Terry haven't finished yet, but there's one thing that I will get back to. This is that at one point I was a little bit like, oh, this is Ten Hag again because you are chasing the game, and we look over on the bench, and there's 2 defenders getting ready to get on. The Ligt and what's his name? Johnny Evans. He had those 2 ready to get on, and you guys are still chasing the game. I was like, uh-oh. And then not too long after that, I think that's when you scored. That's when you changed it. But yeah, Freddie, Terry, carry on with your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were, like I said, we were good for about 60, 65, I think, minutes. And they started the first half well, and then they started the second half well, too. But I feel like we settled down. They started, like, the first 10 minutes of the second half, they were really, like, going forward. They were really on top of us. And I feel like we settled down for, like, a good 10, 15 minutes. And then it just went wild. Like, I think the guys in midfield kind of lost a little bit of legs. They were a bit tired. Casemiro looked tired, and he put in a shift. So I don't even mind him being a 70, 75-minute player. If that's what we can get out of him, putting a shift like that, I think that's fine. It was good that obviously he made the changes, McTominay and all that coming on to kind of help us like stabilize a little bit. But I feel like we play well. I mean, I don't think we're going to be a team that can control a game for 90 minutes this season. I don't think we're going to be that. If we can do 60, 70, 80 good minutes and that's enough to win you the game, then I'll take that, because you can do that for a whole season and still have a pretty good season. And I think that's where we are right now. So I was happy with the win. My worry was that like you do all this and miss all these chances, and then Fulham gets an ugly goal. And they could have had a goal. They had some situations where it's like 2v1 and like 3v2, and they just miss that final pass and stuff like that. So we do need to work on stopping that counter. But I mean, his first game, we saw a lot of changes from last season, like you said. There's the pressing is a lot better. The building out was a lot better. The structure, when we have the ball, people are knowing where to run, what to do, and it was just a lot better. And really, if we had finished our chances, this is 3-0 at halftime, and then it's another story. So yeah, so I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I feel like obviously rival fans are trying to spin it as, oh, good old United, you should have lost this game. I'm like, I mean, they're one shot on target at the end of the day. So like, it wasn't that bad. So anyways, yeah, that's my take on it. For me, it's a good start for us.
Yeah, listen, first game of the season, you have your 3 points. You can't not be happy about that, you know. Yeah. And I will echo you as well. I thought you guys played well. I thought you guys played, like you said, for about 60 minutes. I thought there was only one team in it. And like you said, Thierry, if your players could finish their dinner, then you wouldn't have these moments of uncertainty at some point of the game where Fulham were on top for maybe about 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes or so. But yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I was a little bit scared. I was like, oh, why is Ten Hag doing? You guys are chasing the game. It's time to put a foothold on the game. And I see two defenders, central defenders, warming up. I was like, oh, what's going on? But okay, it worked out for him in the end. So we won't really, go back into it too much about that because you have the victory. I'll tell you who impressed me as well for you guys, Maguire. I thought he had a very good game. Very good game. For somebody who's been so scrutinized for the last couple of years. First game of the season, I thought he did well. There was I think there was one thing that he did that was not really good, but the rest of the game was solid. He actually saved you guys when you guys were 2 against 1. I mean, he stuck his foot out there, but
he was waiting for that.
It should have been a better pass, but he stuck his foot out there and he saved you guys. So great game from him. Great game from Casemiro in the first half, especially. Didn't recognize him. I was like, Casemiro he looks leaner. He looks more.
Yeah, he lost some weight.
It looks like somebody who has something to prove. He looks like somebody has something to prove. Like he came back from last year. He probably knows that last year wasn't his greatest year. So I mean, Casemiro like that for you guys. If he carries on this form, you probably won't need another defensive.
No.
I'll say we still do.
No, you still do because there's uncertainty about him. But if he performs like that all the time, then he wouldn't be your priority. You probably get somebody who
I think, as Thierry said, though.
You probably get somebody who will succeed in, but you won't get. It's no more an urgency if he plays like that. If he plays like last year, then it's an emergency right now.
That's right.
But people I was disappointed with. Ahmad, I don't think he got into a game. I mean, I saw him preseason. He was attacking. He was like, he was running at people. I didn't really feel him this game. Bruno
double teaming on him though.
Yeah, Bruno has to finish his dinner, man. Like 2 clear-cut chances, you have to finish that, because if you don't, like, it's well and good to say that if you finish your actions, you would have been 3-0 up, and then we don't say anything about the pressure that Fulham put on you. But on the other hand, if you're playing against a better team and you're missing those chances, you're losing this game 1 or 2-0. So And there's
But
that
I
too.
think
That's what.
that's the more worrying thing would be not making the chances. I think that's where we were last year, where we weren't doing
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think you take making the chances and missing them for now. Obviously, you want that to change, but yeah, you'll be a lot more worried if you're not creating anything, especially against a Fulham team they're gonna be mid-table.
Yeah.
So you need to be having 4 or 5 good chances against these teams. But last year we weren't. Last year we'll be hanging on the ropes for most of these games.
It was hard to score,
So,
and we'll take
yeah,
those at
exactly.
the other end.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got a lot of positives to come out of this game, but then again, it is Fulham, so don't get away from that fact as well. I'm not saying
Yeah.
Fulham, but you have to do what you have to do. Rashford needs to sit down. I'm sorry, he just cannot be a starter in this team. And
He did all right. He did all right.
That's what we said. That's what we talked about
Yeah.
that the last time. He has to sit. He has to sit.
It's just saying the obvious, right? And Xerxes impressed me when he came on because it's just not. It's not a conventional number 9. He will drop in. It was just a little bit like hurricane in him, and then he's he's aware of just making that run, not admiring his passes, and he made some good runs. So and a great finish at the end of the day, and so I mean, I was impressed because why I was impressed with United is because compared to last year, you seem like you had a game plan now. You looked like you were pressing. You wanted to press. You wanted to get the ball as soon as possible. In last season, nobody knew what you guys were doing. At least there's something on the table that you need to follow. And it looks like if those players get on board, you could have a good season.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's definitely the hope, and that's what's been missing. Just the players to do the job, and that's what we saw. We basically saw a team where people knew what they had to do, as you said, and they did it. They did it to the best of their capabilities. But I do think we do need another midfielder because, as Terry said, Casemiro might be having a good season, but he's still going to be able to give us like maybe 70 minutes, 60 minutes, and start getting tired, and all those mistakes don't come back. So I do think that Ugarte deal has to happen.
I think that's why you have someone on the bench. So you give.
He cannot play the 6. He cannot play the 6. That's his problem.
Then you drop Maino in. Especially if you lead in.
It's not Maino's best position.
Yeah,
you're not talking about. You just said we need somebody for 20-30 minutes. If that guy cannot do the job after Casemiro has played 70 minutes, you need somebody because Ugarte is not going to come and be like, okay, Casemiro, you play 70 minutes and then I'll play the 20 that's left. No, he's not going to do that.
I think it's.
No, of course. I mean, it's just basic. Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry. Okay, yeah.
I was just gonna say it's just. All right.
Pretty go.
Yeah, just a little lag on my side, but I was just gonna say it's just for the squad building. Just the fact that we have different players for different positions. For the 6 specifically, it's only Casemiro that's good at it, like that can master it. That's his natural position. Aside from him, we don't have any else. We used to have Fred and all of that. We don't have that right now. So I do think it does need a substitute that's going to come in and get acclimated. And by the time the switch is ready to happen, that person is there to come in. I think Mainu is more useful further forward, and he can get tired as well from doing all that work. So if you drop him deep, does he even going to have the leg to do all that covering on top of
Mainu doesn't have the leg,
having done what he's done?
19-year-old,
so,
whatever age he is right now. If you cannot play 90 minutes, then there's a problem right there.
No, it's not the issue of like.
No, he sure can, but different positions. It's the fact that he's going to play different position within those 90 minutes.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
go ahead, Terry.
Terry, go ahead, pal, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not an issue of like, he's not fit enough to do it, but that's not his position, so he doesn't like understand where he needs to be. Like, I remember when we played him, his like first 2 or 3 games, he played as a 6. He did great on the ball, but like, again, so many times, I mean, field be empty because his natural inclination is to run forward. Like, he wants to get involved. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to make runs. So we'll lose the ball and we turn around and like Mainu's not there. He's in the box or he's in like doing something else. And like it's like we need somebody with that discipline. Which it doesn't have to be Ugarte. I think probably that Ugarte deal is done unless we sell Sancho to them. Because I think they're trying to use Sancho as like bait for the Ugarte deal. But I think you do still need somebody there at least to give Casemiro a break or to even like not play Casemiro as well so that he can rest. Because Casemiro as well is not going to be a 2-game-a-week player. He's not going to be able to do Europa League and Premier League on Sunday. So the other guy will play a lot if we get somebody. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Well, I mean, good start for you guys and 3 points in the bag, and you cannot complain. Big game that happened earlier today, actually. It was the Chelsea Man City game. And in the end, Man City just professional victory for them 2-0. But I thought Chelsea, who I thought Chelsea looked better than what I was expecting them to be. They looked pretty concise, pretty organized, and if you perform like that against the champion in Man City, then it bodes well for them as well. I mean, they have a lot of positive to take from this game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, man, I really was expecting a bit of a blowout. Well, I don't want to say a blowout, but I was expecting more dominance from City, I would say, in this game. Because, I mean, we're seeing Chelsea, they've been a mess throughout the whole preseason and just in the background as well. Just the transfers and everything is just crazy. But they hung in there and they did all right. And I guess you can see more of why you can't really use preseason, I guess, as a judge. But in the end, I mean, they were pretty they did all right, I guess, for what we probably were expecting judging from their preseason, but they still really didn't, I think, really trouble City that much. I don't think that it was they did well, but it was well compared to what we're expecting, I guess, Chelsea to be. So I still think they have a long way to go. Again, that's against City, and I know we always say if you play like this against these guys, you should be good against Bournemouth or whatever, but it doesn't always translate like that when you're the better team. Sometimes some teams struggle to be the better team in a game. We're a prime example of that. We'll play well against City, Liverpool, whatever, and then you play against Fulham and you struggle. So
yeah,
it was with Chelsea, but I mean City, I mean nothing much to say about them. They did their job. They did what they had to do. You can still see they're still a bit rusty. But I think Kovacic will be a big player for them this season. I think last season he was a bit average because it kind of takes time for some players to get used to the Guardiola kind of structure, whatever Guardiola way, I guess. But I think he's going to be good. I think he's a baller for me, but I think he's going to be good for them this season. And yeah, I mean, they get started again. Haaland scores. I mean, they can't ask for much more. But Chelsea, I think I have to see a bit more. But yeah, it was okay start for them. So I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys see that way. I don't think Chelsea was good at all. I think we saw all of the same pre-Pochettino issues. Yes, they were a little bit more coherent in the play. You saw what maybe Maresca has been working on a little bit, but it wasn't nicely executed. They've had some troubles all over the pitch, starting with the defense, the midfield, and even the attack. Right? Lavia was a huge positive for them. This kid is a baller. He completely took on that midfield. But where's everybody else? Casido, yes, he does what Casido does. But Enzo, this guy, super overrated. I saw that in that game.
I definitely agree. You see that when he was trying to get a penalty, the touch was so poor.
It was poor.
And if he gets that touch right, he gets the penalty. But the touch is so poor at the end of the area that the ref is yo, I mean, yes, you go foul, but you lost the ball before that. So what do you expect?
Yeah, man, he has a lot to prove, man. Because he's not living up to the bill.
And you know what is shameful about this club again, and just Chelsea just never fails to be in a spotlight for it's something negative. Is that Enzo was captain today?
Right.
Was captain? I didn't even notice that.
He's been captain now. Yeah.
That is the most shameful thing that can happen in the history of football.
No way.
I thought all of this can happen. It's captain. I saw that. I was amazed. I was like, there's just no integrity in the game anymore, man.
The game's gone.
Game is gone. I mean, in terms of Chelsea, just let's come back to football real quick. I thought the reason why I said they played well is because I thought they kept the ball quite well, and it's good that you mentioned Lavia. I thought he was monstrous in that midfield. He looked a step above the rest, to be honest. Him and obviously Palmer and Cuckoo. Through shiny lights. Defensively, they are just terrible. They are just a mess in defense. Fofana, you remember Fofana was supposed to be this big thing back in the days.
He's clumsy, man.
He just doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, Gusto, I like Gusto, and Cucurella obviously is a new leaf of life, in him. But yeah, defensively, they need to find a central defensive pairing to just to start off. Jackson was okay. You should, half them power. Not much there to see. And obviously, again, they're doing one of their players wrong by putting, Sterling not even on the bench, just leaving him out completely without telling him why. But that's Chelsea. On the other hand, City, the champions, they didn't look great neither. But hey, victory first game of the season. I think it was the same for all the big teams in the league right now. It's just to get that first win and then just to get going. Because the league, it's not going to be won or lost today, but at least you want to get better for a good start. So I mean, they did that, and kudos to them. All right, moving on. Arsenal against Wolverhampton. Again, there 2-0 win for Arsenal, a standard win, and what can you say about the game? Well, one thing I can say about the game is that the referee was an idiot today, man. The referee was poor. I mean, yesterday. What kind of this Wolverhampton defender? What's his name? Let me pull up his name. I forgot his name now. Mosquera. Oh my God! How is he on the pitch still after strangling Havertz?
Yeah.
Man.
For that one, I don't know. That one was strange, but I don't think
the guy looks at him and then puts his hand on his neck. He looks at him.
He made it look good, man. I have to say, he made it look like it was an accident, like I just fell. He got me.
Watch it again, man. You'll see what I'm talking about. And secondly, how is he allowed to put his fingers in somebody's?
That was outrageous. That was outrageous.
That was disgusting.
And then Jesus reacts and he gets booked.
He gets yellow.
I mean, that referee, he should be fined 2 weeks of his wages just for this outrageous. But apart from that, yeah, I mean, standard win. Wolves actually impressed me. They're a good team, man. And considering they lost two of the best players in Kilman and Neto, they played pretty good. That striker up front, it gave us a few trouble. But you can see with us, man, we weren't really, I mean, we haven't got going yet. I mean, we got the win, yes, but there was a few mistakes creeping in, like with players that it would depend on, like Saliba making a lot of passes astray, Gabriel, Thomas Partey, But yeah, I mean that will get fixed as the season goes on, and the automatism just start to come back to normal. Even Declan Rice, I didn't recognize him today. Didn't have the greatest of game. And when do you see Declan Rice coming off the field for cramp? So, but hey, win is a win. We'll take that, and we'll move on. Will it? What do you guys think about Arsenal and all Wolves?
Yeah. It was a good game. I mean, the result is what we were all expecting. And as I said, it's like Arsenal just picked up right where they left off last season. Just with the way they played, as you say, maybe there was a little bit not the 100% intensity that they usually give. But the pattern of plays, people knowing each other, the runs, and all of that. There wasn't anything surprisingly new. It was really just Arteta philosophy all over that team again. So yeah, very decent game. Besides the referee, as you say, some really outrageous mistakes from him.
I've seen this going around. Well, obviously, Bukayo Saka had an amazing performance today. Well, amazing. Yeah. He in the game, but a very good moment. People are debating whether it's world class or not. Has he reached that level yet for you guys, or is it not quite there yet? Because right now, I mean, I've seen Arteta comparing him to like Messi. I think it's over the top. I think it's getting carried away. But it's not comparing him to Messi. Like, he's not saying that he's, but it's just giving the characteristic in terms of importance and how he plays, how well played. But I would say Bukayo Saka is becoming like an Arjen Robben right now, because that move is becoming like just bread and butter for him.
It's perfected, yeah.
Cutting in and doing that, it's like he can do it, but he does it, and he does it time and time again. And for me, he's getting there. What do you guys think?
I think it's real quickly. I think it's close, but I wouldn't say it's there yet because he's done it for a few seasons. I would respect his consistency. Honestly, he's one of the most impressive, Arsenal players, just with his impact and his goals coming clutch. But I think he still got a margin to go. The main thing I would say is, can he do it anywhere else but Arsenal? He does it pretty well with England.
That is a tight argument. Can he do it anywhere else but Arsenal? He's playing already in a big team.
That's a very valid argument. When we say top class, we're talking about the Messi's, the Ronaldos. They went different clubs and they did it there. So he's not.
Messi didn't do it then?
No, you didn't get what I said. I said the fact that if we're going to put him on the world class level, then you need to do it in different places. Ronaldo did it. Messi did it.
This argument is the worst argument I've ever seen. And they've talked about Ronaldo and Messi about that for the longest time. Just because you don't move and play with a different team and not world class, that is just terrible for me. That is the most.
That's your opinion. For me at least, everybody got their own level and judgment with rating players. That's for me.
Yeah. That should be a characteristic of that. But I mean, anyway.
I was interrupted 5 times. I didn't even get to the end of the point. That was just one part of why we cannot say is world class. Just one aspect. There's other aspects as well. To be world class, there is obviously an array of things to have their trophies and performance, consistency, and all of that.
Yeah,
He
tell
doesn't
me
do
about
that.
that. Don't tell me because he didn't play for Chelsea, Arsenal, West
It
Ham.
was part of the argument. It was part of the argument.
Tell me that though.
It's part of the argument. I wasn't done. That's what I said. The whole mixture of that makes it that he's not world class yet. The fact that he hasn't done it in any other club, the fact that he doesn't have trophies, the fact that he hasn't been top scorer of the league consecutively, and all of that. There's many aspects that he hasn't, some boxes he hasn't checked yet. That's
he
why
has to be top scorer of the league as a winger.
What's the standard for world class then?
Yeah, I mean, Salah has been top scorer.
That's what they did. The world class people.
Let me tell you, you're comparing people that play at his position, and where does he rank among these people? So if you're taking the top right winger or whatever, right forward in the world, where does Saka rank there? So that's what it is. It's not about as a winger that he is. How many goals you want him to go and score like 70 goals before he's a when you're talking about world class at a certain position, you compare whoever we're talking about to the elite. So
that's a new definition of world class for me now.
Wait, but I mean, you compare him to Robin. Robin was getting 30 goals a season.
Huh?
You compare him to Robin. Robin was getting 25, 30 goals a season.
Yes, I compared it to Robin, but did I say that he's the same as Robin? I say he's getting there. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a world class level, right?
That's what I said too.
In terms of right now, tell me a right winger. But just give me like right wingers right now that are better than Bukayo Saka, and why is he not like world class or in that conversation?
Well, I mean,
so that's how it is. You have to compare his world class. You have to compare in the world. Where does he rank in that position? That's just the bottom line. I don't know why.
I mean, yeah, if we compare,
world class, you guys know.
That's one definition.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, how are we comparing? Because are we comparing? If we're comparing the players right now, because like I think there's not that many that great right wingers right now. So if we're comparing the players right now, I guess yes, I agree that there's not many better. I can only think maybe of Salah. That's it really. I can't really think of anybody in the world that's better on the right wing. Adam Wright better than. But now, comparing, if you're saying that's world class, okay, yeah. But then if you're saying like, okay, to be world class, you have to do like what this guy had done or this guy had done that was world class. Then he's not world class if that's the argument. So I guess you have to see the definition.
I haven't said that. When did
I'm not saying you said that. I'm saying if we're saying. That's what I'm saying. Like we have to get that definition right.
Exactly.
Like, if you're saying Robin was world class,
definition
yeah. If you're saying Robin was world class,
so what's your definition then?
For me, world class is the best of the best. All right, the best of the best at it doesn't even have to be a specific position. You're just the best of the best. That's where for me world class was.
Well, I mean, if you have to compare them at the position because positions are different. You cannot compare. You cannot say Robin was world class, for example, but he wasn't a world class defender. So that's why you have to characterize.
Why would you pick Messi and Ronaldo? Are they strikers? Are they wingers? Are they playmakers? What's their position? They changed it all throughout their careers.
You're talking about players that are not like the rest. These are just exceptional players, and Messi, you can pinpoint is
that's beyond world class.
You can of course he's world class, but you can pinpoint his position. Messi is a 10. Everybody knows that. Ronaldo started as a winger, he finished as a 9. Everybody knows that. But why is that the confusion for you that there's a
Messi started on the wing. He started on the wing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then he's a 10 now, right? He's a 10 now, right? Everybody knows that Messi's a 10. You think about Messi, you're thinking about that 10 position, that playmaker, flow in, doing whatever he wants. Not all players have that privilege, but the rest of players, for example, they have that defined position, and that's where we can judge them on. If you're saying who's a world class number 9 right now, I'm not gonna pick out Van Dijk and saying because he's a world class defender, you can put him in that category. That's why you have to put people in their group. So it's just the definition. There's no other definition.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we're saying Robin
was the
barometer? He's not doing what Robin was doing. That means he's not world class.
No. This is not what I said. I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, you can do that, but then you're comparing different eras, right? That's why I made that difference. That's like saying, for example, Messi wasn't doing what Maradona was doing, for example. So he's not world class, for example. I'm just saying, for example, you know what I mean? You have to compare them for the time right now. If Harry Kane is world class right now, Harry Kane wouldn't be world class back in the days when there was the Ronaldo, the Thierry Henry thing. But right now, he's a world class striker. Do you agree with me or not?
I agree, but I mean, there is a semblance of like kind of. I know we're comparing through eras, but it's not like Robin was playing in 1980. He was playing in like 2010s to 2016, 17. Like, so it wasn't that long ago, So football hasn't changed that much. So if you're saying you are a right winger and you are world class, don't you have to reach those levels? Like Salah reached those levels, so we can say
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
definitely world class. Don't you think he has to reach those levels first? Which I agree with you
What,
with that.
what levels? What levels is that? What's the limit? What do we have to go past?
No, I mean, like, okay, if we're taking Robin, for example, you're getting consistently 20 to 30 goals a season, probably like 15
30
to 20
push it, but
assists,
yeah.
and you're
But I
winning,
mean,
and you're
Saka
winning, you're winning. Well, no, he's not. He's not.
he's consistently,
Yeah, it's not like
consistently scoring about 15 goals a season and making
Yeah.
about 15 assists.
So is that level under?
And he's 22. He's getting there. That's what I'm saying. He's getting
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. So he's
No,
not.
nobody's arguing that he's getting there. Nobody's arguing that Saka is a great
Yeah.
player, he has the potential to be world class. And he's probably one of the best right wingers at the moment. I would agree with all of that. Now, world class, again, I think the definition vary based on whoever you speak to. But if we're talking about the status of the elite, I don't think he's there yet. I think he has so much more to prove. If he does what he's doing right now consistently,
Okay, so that's my point. That's where I was coming to. He's not there compared to who?
compared to who at the moment?
Yeah.
Salah is one.
And-
Salah is one of them. Now
and-
it depends again on what you're looking at. Because if you're looking at right winger, you can put Kingsley Coman there because he won titles. Yes, he's not consistent with the goals, but that's why I said there's different factors we have to put into this. Because you can put Phil Foden there as well. He's won title for his team. He scored goals. He has influence. You know.
So Foden is not a right winger, man. I'm talking about right winger. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from that, and let's have the next game here. It's going to be Liverpool against Ipswich. What do you guys think about that game?
I mean, Liverpool looked ragged that first half, man. They look really, they look kind of weird that first half. I guess they just didn't get going. Yeah, I guess they just didn't get going. Like Ipswich had some good chances. I think it was kind of like our game, pretty much, where kind of like the reverse of it, where Ipswich probably had some decent chances to be on top by halftime, maybe one, maybe two, but at least one. That opened with was it Omari Hutchinson, where he's
a good player, man. That kid.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player.
He looks really good.
Yeah, so he had that chance on the edge of the box. He should have done better with, but yeah, they just looked really ragged that first half, and they just didn't get going. And then second half, I mean, we saw the level that they can have. And the thing that was interesting, though, that was hearing journalists talk about is on the slot, and I want to hear y'all's opinion as well, because obviously he's been apparently his new kind of the style of play that he wants is very much slower possession and all that stuff. And you have that team that's been playing gang pressing, like 100 mile an hour, very direct and all that stuff for years now. It's been Club was there since 2015, so nearly 10 years now. Are you going to be able to get those players to change their style in one season? You know, and well, it doesn't have to be in one season, but you want to do it quick enough where you can say, well, this is my style and we're starting to move towards there. And at the same time, get results. Because that second half, they did really well, but that was very much how they played on the clock. Like there was no difference really. Like the two goals are very direct, like ball over the top. Trent's pass, by the way, what a pass. What a pass. And just, yeah, getting in behind and scoring. And like, that was very, very, very straight to the point, direct, like they did on the club. So would there really be any change? Because if it's working, will the players want to change? And like, by the same time, you have to impose yourself. Like, it's very tough in that situation.
I mean, listen, it doesn't matter what the players want. I mean, you're not going to come in as Slot and just do what Klopp did. It's impossible. You don't have the same philosophy. You know what I mean? Klopp has his style and Slot has his style. So obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time to every manager. When you go to a new club, you have to impose your style. You know, that's how people respect you. That's how footballers respect you. You have to impose it. You have to show your identity. What are you doing? You know, so that's how you get rated. Secondly, to your point, is that going to work? I think he has the player, especially in midfield, to do that because McAllister, he's used to playing that style with Argentina. Argentina is a slow, controlled possession game. I think he's more suited to that even than the gunner hole. Because if you remember, McAllister hasn't been with club for that long, and even Szoboszlai, he hasn't been with club for that long as well. So those are people that they can adapt. I think, but obviously it's going to take time because they're used to a way of playing, and yeah. So that's just my take on it. I think he can do it, but I think because I see what he wants to do, and he's gonna need help. He's gonna need to sign some players as well because these players, obviously, some will get it, but some won't, and that's where the problem is going to rest for him.
How far as well, though? How far? I know you have to impose yourself, but how far do you push it? Because it's not like if you want to compare maybe to other teams, like you see like an Arteta coming in and saying we're going to play that way and stuff. That's all well and good at Arsenal where they haven't won for a while. same as Man U, Ten Hag coming in, we're gonna play like this way.
He had a lot of issues doing that though. On that Arteta example, he had a lot of issues style at first. It took him.
Yes,
Arteta in the first year,
that's what I'm saying. Like
Arteta had the philosophy, but in the first year, he knew he didn't have the players, so he reverted back to how we won the FA Cup. We played defensively. We wasn't playing possession football. So
yeah, for sure.
As a big manager, that's what you have to do. You have to adapt. You have to look at your players. Yes, I have the philosophy, but do I have the people to play that style of
exactly? That's
what.
Yeah.
Why? And then, as a good manager, if you're a good manager, you will realize that, and you will make the adequate changes.
We'll see what he does. What do you think, Freddie?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do that. That's for sure. And to Jan's point, that's why I never understood the criticism with Ten Hag, because the guy literally said, "I don't have the players to do the play that I want to play, the way I want to play." He didn't have the players in the first and second
the problem
season.
with Ten Hag is he had the money and he did buy players. He just made the wrong choices. That was the problem with Ten Hag.
I wouldn't say so. Because 1 out of 2 is not definitely a wrong choice. He did get Martinez, was good.
How many players did he bring?
I can just finish.
Yeah,
it's not completely wrong. If I can just finish, he came in. He wanted a set of players. Maybe he didn't go for the right one. Maybe he did, but it just wasn't enough to change the whole culture of the team. The way we play all together. 2 or 3 players not going to do that. Maybe you need 5. Maybe you need 6. So that's what we're seeing right now. More of his style of players into the team. So it makes it easier to implement your style of play. So definitely need more time to implement that. You're going to have some trials and error. We saw Pochettino all season. That's what he did, and he started to click towards the end. So if you're lucky, maybe you can do it in 1 season. If you're not, it's going to take longer. So in this case, I think he has a great set of players, man. Like these players, they can pretty much run on autopilot. Great set of players, great attacking, front for his team. So many choices, so many options for him. So I'm surprised. I'm just curious to see what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how they're going to gel with him and his philosophy. Are they going to get players? There's still a few questions for Liverpool, but they started off how they should have, with a win. Let's see if they can carry that on.
Let's see if we can. All right, let's move on to Aston Villa West Ham, and just gonna try to wrap it up as well. Aston Villa West Ham, that was a pretty good game too. 2 teams that will be fighting, or were supposed to be fighting for, up the table, 4th maybe 4th. Can you say that? Yeah. With the amount of activity in the transfer that West Ham and Aston Villa made, there should be there or thereabouts, right? So good game there. 2-1 in the end for Aston Villa. I thought. Villa looked okay.
Really?
But I don't think. I think West Ham should have. But when West Ham started to play, I think they were the better team. Like in some parts, especially in the second half, I think West Ham was the better team. When they started playing, when they started getting it, they were the better team. But I thought there was a few individuals, at Aston Villa that impressed me. Onana, obviously with the goals, but not only with the goals. I think in the midfield was a beast. And what's this guy? Rodgers. This Rodgers guy, man, he's a good player too, man. Fast. I thought Leon Bailey had a good game too. Well, I mean, in the end, John Duran. I mean, the story about John Duran is so funny because he was all set to go to West Ham, and then that falls through. He comes on, scores, and he's like, "I'm staying." He's celebrating. Football is so fickle, man.
It's funny, man.
No loyalty whatsoever. But yeah, but you can see that these 2 teams are going to be competing for honors at the end of the year, especially if they carry on like that. Good, two great managers as well. So
definitely.
They're
going to give anybody trouble.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, I was impressed with Villa. I mean, especially in that first half, like you said, West Ham did better in the second half. But I thought Villa got carried on from last season. It's just very dynamic, very quick, and they were good, very, very good on the counter. And yeah, with Leon Bailey, he's a problem, man. He's a problem. So yeah, I mean, I think it was more of the same for Villa. Obviously, yeah, West Ham are a good team, so I think they're going to be good this season. Obviously, like you said, it's not clicking right just yet. New manager, a lot of new players as well. So they need to get that gelling as well. I want to see Fulkrug soon, hopefully. I want to see what he's going to do.
A little bit.
And Somerville was
and Somerville.
They both came in late in the game.
Late in the game, okay. I didn't really see until the end.
Yeah, they did come out. They didn't influence the game that much.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to see what happens when these guys get to start and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the expectation probably more for Villa than West Ham will be to try and make that top 4 again. I think West Ham will be happy if they do make Europe in general. whether it's Conference League, Europa League, or whatnot. But they're gonna be up there. I expect them to be up there, and yeah, I mean, two good teams, and we'll see what they can do.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do indeed. Well, other notable, results. Brighton had a good result against Everton, 3-0 there. They look pretty good. For Minte,
yes,
it's scary, Minte. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think Adema is in trouble, man.
I know with Minte, man, he's good as well.
I think I better come to Arsenal, man. It's Arsenal to be on the bench of Brighton. And Newcastle survives the scare after being reduced to 10 men to win 1-0 at Southampton. Horrible mistake from that keeper. Like, oh my god, just gifted the game to.
Yeah, gifted the game.
I thought Southampton was playing well.
They were decent. Yeah, they were decent.
Yeah.
And Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 1. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that robbery? They robbed.
I didn't see that. No, what was that?
Oh, hey, just go and watch it, man. That free kick, world class from Eze, and he got robbed for some. It wasn't even a foul. I don't even know what the referee was doing, but because he blew the whistle right as Eze was taking a kick, he didn't go to VAR, because if he went to VAR, they would have said no foul and then it's a goal. But because the referee blew before, then they had to cancel it, and that's just a tragedy, because I'm telling you, that's already a goal of the season contender if that stands.
Wow.
So if you didn't see a goal like that, and lastly, we got Bournemouth 1 and Nottingham Forest 1. Well, it looks like that wraps it up for the for this video on the first day of the Premier League. And of course, we do have one more game tomorrow, Leicester against Tottenham. So we'll see what this team can produce, and we'll touch on that at a later video. Just quickly to finish, again, we're gonna just check our fantasy football real quick. And again, people, if you're watching us and you enjoy what we're doing, please join our fantasy league if you play fantasy league, and the link is in the description. And sorry guys, but I have to start strong, man. I have to start strong.
You did indeed. I don't know how you guys are getting 70 points on the first day. That's so annoying to me. But
it was all about Salah, man. Look, I tell you, the guy came on camera saying, the guy came and said, "Look, you're crazy if you don't pick me." He probably plays fantasy himself. He wants them points.
He captain himself. He does play. I think there's a website there's somewhere where you can see where footballers play fantasy, but I'll find out for the next video.
For real?
I've seen it somewhere. Yeah. There's a few of them that play, and they play themselves, and they play. It's funny.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you gotta back somebody who does that.
Yeah. What annoyed me is me, because I did not change, after Jan reminded me even, I did not change the order of my subs. I totally forgot. And Welbeck got 12 points on the bench, and Barkley didn't play in my starting lineup. So I'm so mad right now. You don't even understand.
You shot yourself in the foot, man.
Schoolboy.
But yeah, I did the last minute change. If you notice, I have Jota there. I did not have him. I had Gordon. I'll go there. And I was like, I had 3 minutes to go before the deadline. I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, Liverpool's playing Ipswich, Come on, man. Jota's going to start because he's been starting in the preseason. Let me put him in. And then, that pays dividend. Yeah, so I'm off to a good start. But the only problem is I have no investment in that game tomorrow. And people who have Spurs players, they're still in it, man. They're still in it. So, basically. Yeah, who else did well? Freddie, you did well as well. You finished second.
Yeah, I was killed by Gabriel Jesus, man. I should have never picked him. Just like you said for Jota, I was like, hey, he played pretty much all preseason. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't start, and he doesn't. And he comes in and gets fingered and gets a yellow. So just a terrible day. Just a terrible day, man. I'll take the 71, man.
Yeah, that's a good.
Don't want to be trailing at first.
Yeah.
It's a good return. I think what killed you guys, and we'll see your team as well, Terry, is the amount of United. Well, I mean, you don't have too many United people in there, right?
I mean, my United guys did all right. It's just Bruno that didn't do nothing. But
if you got defenders, I think Onana did well as well, so that's true.
Yeah.
Clean sheets,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was this guy as well, one of my friends, Suri, got third place there with what is it called? Latino daddies.
Latino daddies.
That's not bad.
Latino daddies. I mean, it's a good first day. I mean, it's not a long season, so you can't really read too much into their first day. But it's good to have the Prince early doors, man.
Early doors. It's nice to start.
Yeah.
It's nice to start hard.
Seems like he knows what he's doing as well.
A little bit, yeah. And then you have me. I still have 2 Tottenham players. I still have 2 Tottenham, so hopefully.
You better be hoping Solanke starts. I don't think he will, though. I don't think he starts.
I hope and pray that he starts.
I do not think. Has he had preseason with them yet? I don't think he had a game with them. Has he?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Honestly, it was last week, right?
Yeah, I don't think
it was last week.
Yeah, just last week.
I hope he doesn't start because there's a few people. And
I hope at least Poro can do something if they get a clean sheet, or he might get an assist and takes like corners and stuff.
Tottenham and clean sheet does not rhyme. So
true. So hoping for the assist.
I think your best bet with Poro because I think Poro is like on set piece or some set pieces as well.
Yeah.
So he can get points that way, and also he's very like offensive as well. So he can make an assist or maybe a goal.
Garnacho selling again this week with an open goal. Could have gotten
Man, that was an open goal. Wow. He stuffed it.
Absolutely selling everything.
He did get the assist though, so
he got the assist. So at least
I don't know. I wouldn't sell Garnacho. I mean, I wouldn't sell Garnacho if I have him. Now, worst case scenario, I'll put him on the bench. But who do you guys have next? Who you playing next?
We have Brighton.
That's
a good game for you guys, but for forwards, especially Garnacho, man. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't sell him, but it's up to you. It's your team. You do whatever you want.
I hesitated between him and Ahmad, man. Ahmad was more so in my budget.
Ahmad was shy. He was shy, man.
I think I wouldn't pick Ahmad right now because it's a minute's risk in that rotation. He'll be the first one to go, man. He'll be the first one to get started, and he'll be the first one to get benched. So
he needs to get in gear.
Unless he gets a good run in the team where it's like indispensable and he starts every week. I wouldn't go with Ahmad yet, but that's just me. But I mean, you guys have your affinity to United players, so obviously you're gonna go there. I mean, if I can get away with not picking a United player all season, I would. But I'm sure I won't do no sometimes.
Wow.
Even Garnacho, I think I would get him at some point in the season. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Garnacho will do it. He'll do it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, guys, if you want to shout out for your FPL team and just join our FPL mini league, and the link is in the description. And also like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you like what we do here. And we'll see you in the next video. Guys, it's been great, man. See you soon.
Yes, guys. Peace out.